Greetings, exiles. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time, and finally it's come. A new journey. This time, my starting build will be Elementalist, with Beacon of Madness and Penance brand of Dissipation. Unfortunately, I can't start with this build right away, so I'll use Kinetic Blast to begin with. It's not very original, but I'll be able to swap to my main build very quickly because KB is a very powerful skill. Crazy Drop in Act 2. A very potent unique item for my build. Now let's check out the league mechanics. And you know what? I love it. This is one of those mechanics that is worth doing in acts because it is very rewarding. Gold Rim. And 5 links. One of my best starts in recent years. I already like this league. But anyway, it's time to finish the campaign and move on to the main game. But first, a small purchase. Cool belt. As I expected, KB is very strong, and I didn't feel any problems, especially considering the fact that I chose an Elementalist, and she is very strong in the early game thanks to the golems. Six links in white maps. With very good characteristics. Breachcraft is crazy. And here's the first big drop. Nice price for the nice amulet. And the first tink. I missed that sound. My starting Atlas. Pretty standard. Map Sustain and Kirax mission. And of course shrines for some free power and speed. And another small upgrade. Last lab. And some money. Now that's interesting. Never lucky. This is my gear before I go to kill the first quest bosses. I crafted almost everything using the new breach or what I found on the ground. Pretty modest items. Also, I crafted some abyss jewels. Nice and cheap. No problem. Well, the first stage of my journey is complete. Now I need to continue completing the Atlas and earn some currency for the starting gear for the Penance brand build. My current Atlas. The first Nameless Seer. Not bad. And another expensive unique item. It's nice to come back to the game and get currency for trades that were made while I was sleeping. Asynchronous trading is a huge upgrade to the game. My new gloves. And boots. All from the breach tree. I think that's too much resistances. So I bought new rings. Amethyst rings with life and damage. Cool. Nice tink. But this one is better. Tink madness continues. Honestly, I could go on forever. But this video is about Penance brand, not Kinetic Blast. So it's time for a swap. To be honest, I don't know how the build will feel because I couldn't test it. I did make a small endgame POB, of course, but it has a lot of expensive items and isn't suitable for a starting build. So I'll experiment a bit. The key item for this build. I'll talk more about these boots later. Another important unique item. I also need a ring like this. And don't forget about catalysts. For the amulet too. New body armor. Let's go to the magic tree. I got armor like this. Unfortunately, it's not 6 links, but it's a lot of armor and energy shield with resistances. Let's try the new exalted orb slam. Benchcraft. And call it a day. Frankly, I feel bad when I use fusings in this league because 6 links are almost free. But it's very good armor and it's worth it. Overall, it's not so bad. Gloves. With temp chains on hit. +1 to socketed gems is also important, but if you can't buy gloves like these, you'll have to use an additional small cluster to compensate +1 to socketed gems. Helmet and some crafting. I'll need a base like this and essences. Good. The breach tree gave me this nice ring. Let's try to improve it. No way. Crazy ring. Belt. I need strength, life, chaos resistance, and a free prefix. For my gear, I need a lot of strength, and that's a big problem for this build. But this unique jewel will fix that problem. Another unique jewel. It helps us scale armor. We need a lot of armor because I'm going to use this shield. And of course, a wand. Important characteristics for this build are cast speed, plus levels to physical and lightning gems, and damage over time. A few more important pieces. 1 large cluster. 2 medium clusters. Fan the flames must have for this build. And 1 small cluster. If you bought gloves without +1 to socketed gems, you will need 2 such clusters. That was a lot of trading, but now it's time to make the swap. And I'm a little nervous. I hope the build turns out to be playable. Let's talk in more detail about this build and its main mechanics. These boots are a key item for us, and the build only works because of them. With these boots, all of our damage, including elemental, can poison, and we get a 100% chance to poison. And that's very powerful. We also get explosions. And all this in the boots slot. Pretty powerful, you might say. But there is a price for all this. In order to get these effects, you need to activate Embrace Madness. And when this skill is activated, we get very nasty debuffs, which accumulate and eventually make it impossible to play. But this build scales debuffs on you expire faster. Thanks to this, all these negative effects cannot accumulate. Of course, we won't be able to get rid of them completely, but a few stacks won't bother us much, considering that some of these debuffs aren't too bad. The main thing is not to forget to activate Embrace Madness when you start the map, because without it we have ZDPS. That's it. And we are good. As for the starting build, I decided to focus more on defense than damage. As you can see, we have a nice ES and HP pool, max block, and recovery energy shield on block. In theory, we could have gotten a lot more damage, but for starters, I decided that defense would be better because I don't really like when a random white mob kills you off screen. Speaking of damage, I just remembered that there are these cool grafts. They're a nice DPS boost. Another mechanic in this build is explosions and ignite. Since we're elementalists, all damage can ignite and all hits always ignite. And this applies to our explosions. Combined with Fan the Flames, we have pretty solid map clearing. Enough yapping, let's finish our atlas and get the last void stones. Unexpected. Damn scammers. Be careful. Interesting. All the time, man. All the time. Another big drop. Pretty good. Well, that was easy. So far, I like the build and I got what I expected. Poison and cool explosions with some defense. But this is just the beginning, because there are many more cool upgrades ahead. And of course, new strategies for earning currency. Thank you all for watching and commenting. I appreciate it. Also, I would be very grateful for your likes and subscriptions. Bye everyone, and see you in the new video.